Welcome back to the channel. My name is Justin Nowell, and today we are here for episode 3 of the cash game between Zdenek Zizka, current UBC Contender Tournament winner, versus Abe the Snake Mosseri, gambling legend from New York City. After the second round of games, Zdenek Zizka is up 1 point. Each point is worth $300. But with 2 games to go in last game's set, Abe was actually leading by 4 points, but then lost a backgammon for 6 points, which, if you ask Abe, is a bit brutal. So, he is currently down 1 point, Abe is, and he also has used 95 seconds worth of time on his clock, which, as we know, is worth $6 per second for, I believe, $570. Let me check my stats here. Yes, $570, which it is adding up, as we can see. We have 10 more games today, and if you like content like this, please smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. And if anyone is interested in backgammon lessons with me, Justin Nowell, please feel free to send me an email at justin@backgammonuniversity.com. Let's get ready for the games.
You keep on saying it. You keep talking your shit. Thank you. I don't know. I don't own a scale. Your wife is here. She was. She just flew back last night.
All right. 4-1 decides to slot, which is, obviously just a tiny mistake there. I want to thank everybody for how this video series has been received so far. I want to thank you all for all the new subscribers and everyone who likes the videos and leaves comments down below. It's really appreciated. Wow, fans. 2-1 just has to play 13-10. 2-3. Yeah, no, I like coming up. 2-5 enters and hits. And a 5 hits back. That was necessary. 5-6 fans. 3-1 makes the advanced anchor. If he fans again, he doesn't. Yeah, this looks good. I love how, all the focus is just on what is the most important thing to do first. Really. Oh, look at that. Coming out with both checkers was better than coming down. Yeah, you got to hit twice. Hitting twice is important because you want to deny the second anchor. And now this game is... Wow. The fact that this is a take is very, 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 very tough. I mean, it would have been a massive pass had he hit on the deuce. Wow, that was... All right, and the PRs are shown per game, by the way. So the PRs that were just displayed there are for this game only, not cumulative. All the errors that were shown were from this game only, not from any other game before. 4-2 just makes the point. 2-1 secures the advanced anchor. And so you'll notice you can cut down on a lot of mistakes in backgammon by just doing what you think is the most important thing first. Then it makes solving for the rest of the position much easier. And here we just come up with both. Don't think you want to get stuck back on the 24 point. Yeah, nice play. 5-3. Nice play, not leaving any shots. ZZ sees that he is not really trailing in the race by much. Yeah, I would play probably... Oh, wow. No, I would not have done this. Coming out in 6-5 is the best play. I mean, I would not have done the best play. I would have been closer to doing Abe's play there. Wow, just coming out into the double shot. I mean, it makes sense because Blue's going to be in trouble anyway just sitting back there, as we can see. He's been pointed on. Was just given a cube and just took a 280 pass. Abe is pissed. 4-5, maybe not. 6-1 just comes out. And now he's thinking about the next one, slotting. Wow, what a great play. 2-1 has to hit. It has to hit. You can't let him just link up. You'll be dead. And then, I guess, 1s, 2s, and 3s enter. So I guess we just play 13-11. Ah. He gets to come out. And now Abe is just getting slaughtered in this race. Five, 2. 6-4. All right, Abe needs a 4. He doesn't roll it. 6-1. And it looks like Abe is just going to lose a single here. Okay, he rolled double 5s, but he's going to need double 6s next. Oh, ZZ rolls it first. Okay. 3-2. 6-2. Whew. Quick stuff.
Doing a reset to 4.
2-1 just slots. 2-1 is the only play for money where it's like correct to slot, technically speaking, but there's nothing wrong with slotting with numbers like 4-1. I remember when I was learning backgammon for an entire year, I slotted. Wow, he does the reverse play there. That hurt my brain. I don't know about you guys. I played 5-1 for, I don't know, maybe an entire year, knowing it was not the best opening play, just because it got me to a lot of sloppy, messy positions that I was then able to fight my way out of. You know, I think it's good to get yourself into positions that aren't going to be particularly easy to play. 3-2, step up and play 8-6. 6-2, and then I think I would just come down. I like coming down. 4-3. We just play 13-10, of course. 5-3, and that hits. It hits. No, it hits outside. Why don't we send a second guy back? Double 2s. All right. Let's bring it in 6-4. There was a cube there, apparently. 5 and 3 hits. 4-2. And I guess I would just play 8-6 again. No need to leave another shot somewhere. And ZZ has to keep hitting. 4-3. And we hit on the 1. There was another cube there, apparently. And here, this is a definite cube. Probably a pass. Okay, I can see massive pass now. That's why there was such a cube before. Small cubes missed, but still. He found one of the market-losing sequences with the roll of the dice, where he got to hit twice and the guy just fanned, and or he got to hit and on the yeah. Well, there we go. 3-1. Yeah, so 4-3, 2 down, 3-1 just makes the 5. Interesting, when somebody plays 2 down as an opening play, like 4-3 or 5-2 or 5-4 or 2-3, and then you roll an ace, well, obviously 3-1 makes the 5, but all of your other aces that don't make points, like 3-1 and 6-1, are all going to slot the 5 point. 2-1, 4-1, 5-1. It's actually quite a big error not to counter slot in those situations. Double 5, so we come down. And what else? Do we make the 3, or do we just come down again and come to the 6? Okay. Yeah, I didn't have a ton of time to think about it, and neither did they, by the way. Great shot, making that advanced anchor. You know, when someone has the 9-point made and you're on the 22-point like that, it kind of stinks. Which is why it's not necessarily ideal to have it when the 9-point is made, but was necessary for him to have it in that situation. I didn't see what the best play was for white after that. But sometimes you forego some things in order to keep that 9-point just so blue doesn't have any 6s out. 4-2. 4-2. I guess we just slot the 3-point. Yeah, Abe missed a cube here. 4-2, and now he has to double, and I mean, I can see that it says take, but easier said than done. So I guess there's not... Okay, so not every number makes the 6 prime. And even if he does make the 6 prime, blue still has to get off their anchor. And I guess what the computer's telling us is that there's some counter prime potential there where he can hit him off and maybe he enters with an ace. So I guess all of those combinations together, double 6, that's a cube. That's a cube. That's a cube. I would say that was a cube. Double 1s followed by 6-5 fan in that situation, I believe is a cube on plus plus. I'm not exactly sure, but I would bet that it is very close. In double 4s, it's a heck of a roll from the roof. The 3 comes up, the ace hits. Yes, he could safety it, but he needs to escape. And does this hit? No, it does not hit. So I guess we come all the way around to the 5-point. Yeah, seems okay. 6-2 runs all the way. 3-2 just makes the point. And 6-1. Yeah, I like that play. Try to minimize shots. And the 3 hits. And we just slot the 8-point, hoping to get missed. 1-5, okay. Can we think about it? Oh, I guess not yet. 6-2 comes all the way out. 2-4, and then the 2 should step up. The 2 should step up. Yeah, nice play. We can't get stuck back there. Right, look at this. Abe has a cube now. Wait, do we want to make the 5 prime or do we want to hit? Wow, great question. Is the ace there? Nice play, properly punished. One, 2. Oh, wow, stepped up. Okay, I guess the problem with stepping up is that all of the numbers, well, not all of them, but 3s and 4s for sure, that weren't good before, now hit you. 3 and the 4, it hits. It hits, you're leaving a shot anyway. I guess, can ZZ cube here? No. Can he? Wow, what a cube. What a cube, ZZ. 5-2, I just run. I don't like staying behind the prime. 5-1, enters and hits. And if ZZ doesn't roll a 3 here, 3-6 would be too good. He has to re-roll that one. Don't get to keep that. Sorry. 3-1's pretty good, though. Double 5s. This enters. Oh, wow. What do we do here?
5 what?
Wow. I kind of want to come out. Okay. Maybe we just come out with the other 2. Put ourselves in the outfield. Yeah, that's tough because now you're coming out into contact if you don't roll double 5s again, but you do. And you should... Yeah, no, this is good. Wow, what a shot. 2, 3. Yeah, and double. And pass. There you go. 4 cube. Game over.
Could this be too good?
And we're tied again. Revenge of the Abe Snake. 6-3.
Halfway.
5-1 just hits a single time. The double hit
Oh, yeah.
is not a thing in that position.
After this 5 games.
This is halfway. This is 26.
Okay, splitting into a bit of a blitzing style structure. So Abe gets to take advantage of it with a 5-3, but the 6-1 hits back. 2-3 makes an advanced anchor. The 4-1 just makes the 9. And the 4-2 here just has to hit. Although coming to the 20 was very close, and 5-4 secures the 20 from ZZ. All right. 3-2 is just 13-8. No need to leave shots here unnecessarily. And 5-5 just comes around. And I think a cube is incoming. Double 5s. Okay, that gained a lot in the race, but I would still double. You just have too much going on. Is that better than just 2 down? Give yourself a 6 to use to make the 5 that way. Yeah. Making the advanced anchor seems like the right idea because blue, despite having 3 checkers back, is not really trailing in the race that much. Only 5 pips after the play. Okay, well now it's a bit more. 16, he just rolled 3-6, which is 9 pips, so he should only be down 7. Now he doubles. Pretty easy take still. Abe is just counting the race. Abe does a comparison count, actually, so he'll get the difference but won't know the absolute count in the race. 6-4. 3-4, I think should just... Okay, 5-2 was better somehow. And Abe needs a shot from the roof. He needs a 5-2. He needs a 3-2. That's not it. Double 5s makes the point. Yikes. The dice are strong with the young ZZ. 5-6, Abe just enters. Pay now. Well, he has no choice. 4s, double 2s, 3-1. A 4 hits. And, wow, should we come down to cover? I think I'd come down to the 10, to be honest. Coming out is a little bit better. 2-1. Now he's got no direct covers. 5-4 covers, okay. If ZZ doesn't roll a 6, the cube is coming. And another 4 cube from Abe. Take that, he says. He says, take that. But he can't take that. His board is busted. And despite him being up a ton in the race, because his board is busted, it incentivizes Abe to just hit him loose on the 1 point, knowing that even if he gets hit back, he's just a massive favorite to enter, and he still needs a 6 out, right? So he can't really take those very easily when his board is busted because there's hardly any repercussions after Abe hits loose. 3-1 just makes... oh, no, this hits outside. I didn't see this hit. Yep, that's better than making the 5, of course. Double 1s, enters, makes the 5, and splits in that order. 6-1 makes the 7 point. Ah, so they must have just played the 5th game or something, and the board direction switches after 25 games. I know that wasn't mentioned previously because, well, I forgot about it until now, apparently. But in order to make it fair for both players, they didn't want there to be an advantage in direction based on who was bearing off where. So they decided to switch the directions after 25 games, which seems really quite the fairest thing to do. And this just has to... Oh, wait. He's not on the roof. Okay, yeah. That just makes the 4. 2-4. No? Okay. 2-5 hits back. 4-2 hits back. 4-5 fans. Abe's doing good again. This hits and it makes the 8 point. Or it comes all the way out. I think I'd make the 8 though. Double ones. Oh my gosh, the super joker of all super jokers. If he had just stayed on and made the 8, he would have been crushing. And now he's potentially getting crushed. Look at this cube ZZ found with 2 guys on the 24 point. That one needs to be looked at later in our analysis section. Smash the like button for that cube. That was pretty sick. But now, the position's probably a little too good, but Abe just gives him another 4 cube back. How do you like me now? Imagine finding that brilliant cube for like 3 rolls later. You just get 30 cube, and now you second guess yourself for the rest of the day. Oh, that was so gross. 4-2. 5-1 just splits. We can't slot when the guy has us outboarded. 3-1 makes our own 5. If anyone can't see the rolls due to glare, we can look over the little board on the right-hand side of the screen. It shows the dice perfectly. That's why we put it there. 2-1 makes the advanced anchor. Abe needs to enter. He does enter with 3-5, and the 5 comes down. We don't want to come out into a direct shot for no reason. Plus, we're also trying to make that advanced anchor. And 6-5 just comes around. Michi calls this point the butterfly anchor. Not exactly remembering the surely why, but I know that there's a transition here between loving to hold it and then flying away and getting rid of it, yeah? Wait, what did he roll? Double 2's there. He didn't switch. He didn't switch. Abe hates the switch sometimes. He doesn't like getting rid of good structure like the 5 point to temporarily put a guy on the roof. Tactically, though, it seemed like the right idea, but now he's hitting loose. And double 5's fans. This is a fantastic roll from Abe's perspective. He's thinking about the double. It is not a redouble yet. I think the 3 covers and the 6 comes down. Yep, just like this, slotting. And now the game is over. Another 4 cube from Abe. Wow, how many games was that where the Abe gets the 2 cube and turns the game around? He's looking at the camera. Have you seen my power, he says. Have you seen the strength of the Abe snake? The Abe snake cometh, and the Abe snake taketh away. 6-3 just comes out and makes the 10. 4-1 makes the 20-point anchor. Double 3s comes out. Okay. Wow. Look at that. Volunteering from the point was the best play. Oh, that's tough. 6-3 and make the 5. ZZ is up currently. What is it? How much in the race? Not much. Not enough to cube, at least. That's for sure. 6-2 just clears the outside point. He's got full freedom, so all he's trying to do is avoid leaving a shot. But we can see that this is becoming a bit... oh, look at this, making the ace point. White's outside structure is looking a bit brittle. And so he wanted to stay for potential shot levers. He would have had to have broken his 8 point, but now he could do this, and now Abe can do that and just win the race. Abe is up 6 points right now. He's also up 10 pips. The point of last... Oh, no, he's only up 7 now. Okay, so he's... What's the point of last take here? Like 11 pips? But ZZ's structure is so bad that there's a lot of wastage in his position. So the normal racing formula might have this at a no double, but due to White's inefficient position, this becomes a really big cube because a lot of stuff can miss your market. ZZ still had a take. Abe doesn't need a 2-1 right now. Double 6, oh my God. I think ZZ's... Oh, another 2-1. ZZ's preparing for his own recube, and there it is. How do you like me now, he says.
2-1, 2-1 boxes.
2-1, 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. Oh yeah, and then boxes.
And that's double because I can't do the race. So I would start losing second. So he did that a couple times.
4-1. He slots again. He likes this play. Gets hit on the outside. Now he rolls the 4 that... Oh, look at this. Well, I guess if we're going to slot with 4-1, we need to know how to reply after we get hit with a 6-2, because I probably would have made a mistake there as well, just covering and letting the guy go. It's interesting. There were a lot of options there. You could have made the advanced anchor. You could have hit outside. You could have entered with the 4 and made the 5. Generally, when you have a choice, you must rejoice, but often those choices can lead to blunders if you do it wrong. (6-3). Wow, there's no way to not leave a shot here, so we're just playing 13-4, playing with 1 blot, leaving just an ace shot. 6-3 covers the 4. 5-1. 4-1 just goes to the ace point. We can't leave shots in positions like this, you know. I say shots like shots. I don't leave shots, but like, you know, I think it's very important to kind of understand what position type you're in and what position types we should be leaving shots in and should not be leaving shots in. The 5-3 hits and he comes down. Okay. And now this game is over. All right. Is that the last game? Or do we have time for one more? That's the last one from today's session. Thank you all for tuning in. Please smash the like button and subscribe to the channel and stick around for the analysis section that is incoming now. Welcome to the analysis section of episode 3. We're just going to run through the stuff that was highlighted in red, which on my settings are just any errors over 0.05. So 50 millipoints. Game 1 was played fairly clean. I think the only mistakes that we saw here was just this 5-6 from ZZ here. The best play was to hit and hit on the deuce as well. You know, Abe fanned and then he cubed, and actually this turned out to be a 7% mistake as well, meaning that this was a take, but after the best play, of course, this would have been a mega pass. So it worked out the same way for ZZ with the hit or no hit. But I think in general, it is better just to deny your opponent's ability to make a second anchor. Let's go to the second game. And we had this 5-1 here. And yeah, I thought this was also very tough. You know, coming out into a double shot and just playing 6-5. But if you think about it, a lot of these numbers are just going to be hitting you on the inner board as well, right? And then if you don't re-enter, they're going to just make a 5-point board and you're going to be in a really, really, really bad spot. So one of the upsides of coming out is that, you know, when or if they hit you, maybe you hit them back from the roof, right? But at least they're not pointing on you. Yeah, and then let's say you just missed, right? Then you've just escaped and have solved a lot of your problems. So I can see this play now. I hope to be able to see something like it in the future. Hit here and played 8-7 versus 10-9. Wow, that's really big actually. Much bigger than I'm sure anyone was expecting. Abe fans and missed a cube here. This is a cube and massive take. But why cube the other one from ZZ's perspective if you can double this one and get the guy to take? The double ones. Wow, just slotting 8-4. I mean, yeah, that's tough. I can see the upside of this, right? Blue needs time to try to escape their back checkers. Only 4s and 6s will allow them to escape, right? So if we just play in, and there's a chance we overrun our position, right? And by filling in the 4 point and covering it, it will give you a lot more time to try to escape your back checkers. But with the time that he had, it just seems like a huge ask. 6-1 and the 2-1, right? I know it's dangerous to hit because the guy's got a 5-point board, but he's also up by 30-something pips after the play, and if we just let him go, we're basically losing, right? So the hit seems mandatory despite the risk. We can see that if we don't hit, we only win 39.8% of the games. And if we do hit, we win 52% of the games. And yes, we do get gammoned a bit by hitting 34% of the time versus, wow. Is that right? 34% of the time versus only 8. Whew. But we win 13% more games. I mean, that is significantly more gammons, though, isn't it? Wow. Okay. Boy, that is expensive. But I guess on the flip side, we also win more gammons, right? So to take that away from that, if we play 16-13, not only do we not really lose a lot of gammons, we only lose 8%. The other side doesn't really lose any gammons either. They only lose 2.89. But on the flip side, if we hit, yes, we lose 34% gammons, but we also win almost 12% gammons ourselves, which kind of takes down the risk of our own gammon losses by quite a bit because they get compensated for by gammon wins on the other side. So even though the difference is huge between the hit and no hit when it comes to gammon losses, we just win so much more. Plus, we also win more gammons ourselves. And also, when we win the game, we also don't lose a gammon. So that's also good. And in money games, the value of a win is worth twice as much as a gammon loss. So that's also quite big. Game 22 was fine the rest of the way. Game 23, we had this 5-3 here. Yes, better to hit outside, send the second guy back. I know we're outboarded, but this structure from white with the 2-4-6 made is notoriously not very strong. And there's just a ton of double hits back from this play as well, right? 4s hit here. Then all of his odd numbers also hit again on the other side. So if he does roll a 4, the 4-1, 4-3, 4-5 is also going to do quite a bit of damage back. So sending the second guy back seems pretty important, but very tough with the time controls they're playing at. And this was a cube from Abe's side of the board, and so was this, which is tough, but then we saw a market losing sequence, right? He rolled 4-3, hit twice, the guy fanned, and then it became a 400 pass. All right, let's look at game 24. This was a double here. Blue not being at the edge of the 5 prime, he ended up rolling a 4-2, had to slot, and then you see this was a market loss. No, it wasn't. It's a take still. Yeah, we talked about this one during the match. It's very, very tricky. There's clearly some rolls that don't cover it, which is why you can take. And also the position of white's back checkers, it's not so clear that they get to escape really easily, but they decided to let that one go, and I can't blame them for that one. 6-4. Let's see here, game 25. This was a cube, double 3s, great shot after the hit. And the 4-2, okay. Don't think I saw this one while they were playing. They could just clear and not leave a shot at all. Yeah, I mean, that is super tough because if you're not looking to break the 8 point at speed, there's no way you can really find this because every other play that you make is leaving a shot somewhere. The only play that doesn't leave a shot apparently is just breaking the 8 point. He fanned 4-1 covers, 4-3 enters, and he should hit. I see lots of plays like this where, if you're leaving a shot anyway on the outside, you might as well gain all that you can from the hits because there's 9 times he just doesn't enter, right? And then there are some awkward entries as well, right? 1-5, 1-4, I guess, 2-4, where they're forced to break their structure and hit you loose, and then the game is up in the air again. But you get paid tremendously on those 9 fanning numbers. So you should generally go for them in spots like this. I saw a position earlier today where there was another situation very similar to this, where the hit was also the correct idea. He didn't hit. He doubled. Great cube. Doubling on the come here. He did hit and continue pass, which is like basically tied. I would have just ran to try to make my game simpler. I don't like getting stuck behind 4 primes, but if this hit works, his chances of picking up the other guy are pretty big. And so he chose gammons over wins here. 5-1 enters. He rolls 3-1, hits and lifts, double 5s. Should have came out and made the outside point and just lifted. This double 5 should have come all the way around. I think one of the reasons why this one should come all the way around is the outside position is just a bit stripped, and you're going to be leaving shots somewhere maybe next time anyway. So by bringing one guy around, you have a spare to play with on the 10. You also have a spare to play with on the 20 instead of having to break a point and move something elsewhere on the next roll, but that's not a big mistake at all. Game 26. Let's just run through this here. And yes, this was a cube. So, I mean, these are tough. These are very, very tough. I think a lot of it has to do with, White having 3 guys back, even though the race isn't particularly great. The position is very, very strong. And if he does make the 4 point on his head, he is likely to have lost his market. I think a lot has to do with White no longer having any outfield control. The 5 point isn't made. There's a bunch of dilly builders on the 22 point over here, meaning that they can't be used to make the most important point, which is the 5. Meaning that even if he does get a shot and hits at some point later, not having the 5 made is really a big detriment. Then he had this 3-2 to play, and the best play was to play 2 down. You're leaving quite a few shots anyway, but giving yourself a good 6 to play to try to make the 5 point seems pretty important. Let's go on to game 27. This was played quite well. We got here to the double 6. And yeah, you just got to make the 8 point. I see this. People get worried about getting stuck back here sometimes, but just creating the 8 point, right? Just, when the guy enters, he might enter with 2 right away, which I think is the biggest problem with having all the blots out here, because then you're kind of forced to continue to hit loose, right? Because there's no guarantee that you're going to just clean everybody up and have a 5 prime. But after you make the 8 point, if he enters quickly with 2 guys, right? Like he rolls 1-3 or 2-1 or 2-3 or something, then there's a greater chance that you do just make a 5 prime here, and then those 2 guys get stuck back behind superior structure, which I think is all you're looking for. You're looking to just play for position instead of trying to submit the guy immediately. Just get the 5 prime started, then make the 5 prime, and then cube him, right? He rolls double 1s after the other play, which has to be like the best roll. I mean, look at this, right? He gets to enter, hit both checkers. Maybe double 2s is better. Double 3s, I guess, is better, but I guess this is the 3rd best roll, which I'll still take in this position. And this was too good. Abe turned it around like it was nothing. This cube by ZZ I thought was fantastic. I mean, he's stuck back on the 24 point with 2 guys behind like a semi-prime. And blue is in attacking position. There is no anchor. The race is even. And he spots this cube when he only has 54% winning chances in the position, knowing that there's just a ton of rolls and a ton of blots in the outfield that are going to make him wish that he doubled. He wins 34% gammons here compared to the 14 from White's perspective on the other side. This is a heck of a cube that I wow, it's just, to find this at speed is pretty amazing. So congrats to ZZ on this one, even though it didn't work out. But I mean, it wasn't meant to work out all the time. But when it does work out, it pays huge dividends. I mean, it can't work out all the time. I mean, Abe still wins 46% of the games. Game 28. This double twos here. He anchored and came down and did this, but he wanted him to shift points here. Maybe hoping that he gets the opportunity to pick up the guy on the 14 after a potential fan. Yeah, I mean, this also only gets hit back with 5-6, and this other play gets hit back with 6-2 and double fours and allows for him to pick up the blot. Yeah, okay. Just good to make note of. Game 29. Even though it's not a big enough mistake for us to really talk about, this play is interesting, just coming out and making the 7-point. Getting rid of the gap in this structure here makes it much easier for blue to bring everybody home later, because a lot of times you'd be surprised, shots are left from trying to clear the 10-point. So you can get rid of that problem immediately and just have very solid structure in front of their anchor and just allow your position to play much smoother on the way home. You're up after the play 20 pips, so you're not so worried about turnarounds in the race. 6-5 was played 2 down. The best play was to just make the 1. White's outside structure is quite stripped, and so they might start having to break these landing spots because they won't want to leave a shot from here. Then after playing 2 down, the best play was just to make the 1. He was able to do this. Best play was this because it leaves fewer shots, but I can see why he did that. Apparently second best was still just clearing the 8, not leaving any shots. And let's go into game 30. I press ++ here, so just give this a second. Yeah, okay. Just leaving the fewest shots. You only get hit with 6-4 and double fives. If you play it this way, you're going to get hit with 6-2 and 5-3 and double fours. You're going to get hit with 2 more numbers, which is not ideal. Yes, it is nice to cover the point, but if we look at the other side of the board, those 2 extra numbers, getting hit is game over, basically. So it's not worth it. And this 4-3 here I thought was really interesting. The best play by a mile, it appears, is just to enter on the 21 and play 8-5. So let's take note of this sequence. After 4-1 slot, 6-2 hits the outside, 4-3 enters from the roof and makes the 5. And that is the end of our analysis section for today. So thank you all. For anyone who's made it here to the very end, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and if anyone is interested in backgammon lessons with me, Justin Nowell, please feel free to send me an email at justin@backgammonuniversity.com, and I'll see you in episode 4.